Jesus warns us against false prophets, and then he warns us against false teachers. He told us that this is going to happen. They are going to come. He didn't say we should stop them. He did not tell us, pray to stop them. It was a prophetic word he gave to us, that this is what is going to happen. So he gave you warning against them. And the best way a person can help you in this life is to tell you what is in front of you. The best gift you can ever receive in this life is to be warned or be informed about what is coming. If a man or a person can give you an information about what is coming, that person has blessed you. He has helped you. Because he brings you to that position of being aware of what is coming. Then it also gives the opportunity to prepare against what is coming. But unfortunately for us, even pastors and believers, people who have been in the Lord for a long time, we have ignored this truth. So we go around telling people, don't listen to false prophets, don't listen to false teachers. He didn't tell us to warn people against it. It tells us to prepare, to face them and overcome them. Amen. Yes, that's what he told us. And many more will be coming. We have not yet started seeing it. This is just the tip of the iceberg. We are going to see more horrible teachers and horrible prophets. We are going to see it. We have not yet started. The wickedness we are seeing in this world is going to increase. The injustice that we are seeing is going to increase. There's nothing like it's going to change. It's going to graduate from one level to another level to another level. Yes, it's going to happen. People are going to be more wicked than ever before. People are going to be more terrible than ever before. People are going to be more disloyal than ever before. People are going to be unfaithful than ever before. People are going to betray other people. It's going to happen. It's going to be great. And it is time for us to renew our mind and begin to realize one truth, that the world in which we were born into before is not the same world we are living in now. The world we came to meet is not the same world we are living in now. The world that is full of peace, is full of love, is full of compassion, is full of good things, is no more that world we are living in now. As we step into 2020, the face of the earth has changed. It's going to get worse. That is the bad news. It's going to get worse. The killings, the evil is going to be great. Lies, falsehood is going to be great. So what do you have to do? You need to be prepared to face it and overcome it. Yes. And I'm going to share some few truths with you that will help you to be able to prepare to overcome. It's important. Jesus told us a story. He told us of two group of people or two men who build their house. One built his house upon the sand. One built his house upon the rock. Both of them faced the same challenge, but one was able to survive. You see, the challenge will come. The troubles will come. The situations will increase. But whoever will survive is the one who are prepared. Your survivor depends on your preparation. You need to know that. You need to know that you are only going to survive if we are prepared. Lack of preparation, absence of preparation is going to cause you to fail. Yes, you are going to fail. The Bible tells us that in the day of adversity, if you fail, how little is your strength? We are running around. Last week I told you, first things first. Last week the message I preached to you, I told you first things first. You put first things first and they put second thing. It's on our YouTube. You can go and listen to it. First things first. We should stop running around and know that greater challenges are coming. You know, we are not going to have good presidents anymore. We are not going to have them anymore. Forget it. We are not going to have good presidents as we used to have before. We are going to have bad presidents all over the world. I'm telling you. There's nothing like, oh, we'll have good presidents. It's going to be one year, one day. Globally, it's going to be only few. When you look at on the global scale, it's going to be only few. You'll see one there, 1 year, one day. We are not going to have superstar pastors anymore. You see, most of them are going. Most of them, God is calling them. We are not going to have superstars. We have this pastor in this country. We have that pastor in this country. People are running to this. Those things are all coming to an end. Now it's going to be you alone. It's going to be you alone. Running here, running there is no more going to help you. You stay focused. You prepare yourself to face the challenge ahead of you. I always say this, the reason why Africa has not developed is because we like running away from responsibility. That's why our continent cannot develop. We like running away, and that is why we are not able to develop. Progress, development, success is only possible through responsibility. Today we have internet. People went to space to do things like that. People take responsibility to bring electricity. Take responsibility to create things, phones and things, which we are using. But this part of our world, we like running away from responsibility. Oh, this person will do it. That person will do it. My mother will do it. My father will do it. My uncle will do it. My auntie will do it. Oh, it's this person's responsibility. We have not come to where we accept responsibility. And that's why we are not developed. When we came here, it was like desert. There was no light, there was no water. The place looked like desert. It's impossible for you to come here. Even pastors who pass by. One pastor came to see me, told me plainly that when we were building, when he was pastor, he said, which pastor have left town, he has come here. Because we always want somebody to go before we will follow. That's why we cannot develop. That's why we cannot be established. One of the best things I'm teaching my children is to make them responsible. You can't leave money for your children. You make them responsible, they make money by themselves. Have you noticed all those people that fathers leave property for them? Most of them don't think. 99% don't think. Your father left this for you, your mother left that for you. It's difficult. Out of 100, you can only see 1% that think. Because they didn't suffer for it. They didn't labor for it. That's why most rich people, their children don't turn right. Most of the time. Doesn't turn right. Because everything is available for you. You are not responsible. You need money, they give to you. You need car, they buy it for you. You need a house, it's available. So your brain will not work. So those who are fortunate to have good parents, out of 100, only 1%. Because it will make you irresponsible. How would you wake up to sweep your own room if there's somebody there to do it for you? How you wake up to think that I have to invest into this, I have to invest into that? You see, to make you irresponsible. We have gotten to a level in the history of the earth. Things are not going to go down. It's going to go up. We must be prepared to face it and overcome it. Amen. I also said the other day that you make policies out of misfortunes that happen. Policies have been created or formed through things that happen. A plane fell from the sky and crashed. The white man think of doing something that will not fail like that anymore. So any negative situation, you must create positive situation out of it. So you create policies based on the things that happens in your life. You invest a huge amount of money into some business and the business didn't yield. You don't go on investing. You sit down and know why it did not work. What I didn't do well, that's why the thing didn't work. Maybe you were functioning on wrong information. Or maybe you weren't sure of what you are going to do. So you sit down to know if it didn't work, it can work in that direction. So you now plan again. Find out how you can invest rightfully. Maybe the person you are into business with is not the right person. That one too can cost you. Yes. So anything negative that happens to you, you must think of turning it into positive. You don't keep repeating the same thing. And that will happen when we become responsible people. Responsible citizens. Responsible leadership. When they started putting Dasby across the country, you pass your Dasby. I was telling my wife that, you see, this is beautiful, but it cannot be maintained. You pass through the main road, you see they put Dasby here, Dasby there, Dasby here, Dasby there. Beautiful. Zoom Lion will put big trucks. They are buckets in certain locations. Nice. Someone must take the responsibility to maintain that. When you walk into this place, it looks organized, neat, even though we are living on the main road where dust is easy to come here. We have appointed people who take responsibility of everything. Those who come here to clean on Tuesday, clean on Thursday, they have become responsible for that aspect. It's not how nice a house is. It's how it's going to be maintained by responsible people. It's not all about how nice things are. It's about how to maintain things. We know how to create things sometimes, but we don't know how to maintain it. Go and see all those Dasbys. Some are destroyed because no one wants to take responsibility. To take. When you come to my house, I have my responsibility every day. My wife has a responsibility. What is my responsibility when I wake up in the morning? Because the children go to school, my responsibility is to make sure that I check the car, I check the engine, I check oil, I check everything, I clean the car inside for them. I go to the bedroom, I lay the bed. Before I do any other thing, then I will leave. She will take care of the children, their bath, their dress, everything. I leave your own for you. But everybody is running away from responsibility and blaming people. Please, never blame me as your pastor. You notice that anybody want to blame me, I put them to order straight. I will not sit down for you to blame me at all. Because whatever I need to do for you as a member, I'm doing it. Yours is to do your part to make it work. Anytime someone wants to blame me, I'll stop whatever I'm doing to face the person. Because why must you blame me? You have 2 legs, 2 hands. You have your mind at work. Why would you blame me for whatever is happening in your life? Because we have been brought up in a system where every one of us is blaming somebody. This time around, there's nobody to blame because you are going to face it by yourself. You're going to face it by yourself. Even God in heaven, the first responsibility he gave to man is to dress the garden and keep it. When God created Adam, God told Adam, dress the garden and keep it. He made him responsible. So when Adam allowed the woman to mislead him, when God came to the garden, he didn't ask Eve, he didn't ask the serpent. He came straight to her. That's why I warn men, be careful how you run your house. Men must be careful how they run their house. Because you'll be asked. God said, where are you? And you see, because man always run away from it. He said, the woman you gave to me is the one that has brought me into this situation. The woman to say, the serpent. They never accept their responsibility that they has created that problem. We are living in dangerous times. And every one of us must be prepared. Because it's not going to be somebody, it's going to be you alone. You have to learn how to pray yourself. You have to learn how to fast yourself. You have to learn how to read the Bible yourself. You have to learn how to come to church. Gone are the days they will beg you, come to church. You have to come to church. You have to come to church. Come to church. Those days are past. We are not living in the days where they have to beg people to go to church. Because you see, the gun is right by your door. The gunmen, they are right on the street. You think all the people they have been killing recently, do you think you are better than them? It is something called grace. It is the grace of God that is keeping you from evil. The policemen they shoot, the innocent citizens they shoot, they are not different from you. The same blood running through this, the same blood running through you. Is something called grace and something called the love of Christ that has saved you. I'm telling you. So what do? You become more responsible and committed to the God who is watching over you. Never think you are doing anything for any pastor. No. You are doing it for God. You must take responsibility to develop and to build yourself against the evil days. Evil days are ahead of us. More wicked days are ahead of us. What happened in Sodom and Gomorrah is going to repeat itself again. It is something one has to understand easily. Two angels or two men, the Bible called them, came to Lot, Sodom and Gomorrah. And then Lot came out and Lot said, please don't harm them. They are my guests. I'm responsible for their lives. I have two daughters who has never seen men. I want to give them to you free. Do whatever that pleases you with them. They say, no, we don't want them. We want the men. You see, man has become so wicked that it's not even satisfied with what ordained God. The world is going to grow worse and worse. No pastor is responsible for your security. You are responsible for your security. I'm telling you. Gone are the days we play around, we joke. We are joking, they are not serious in their life. It's no more. Now, it's going to become more serious. And the Bible teaches us about the end time problems. Let's look at something in the book of Matthew chapter 24, verse 8. Jesus told us something there. Matthew 24, 8. It's important.
Let us hear the word of God. Matthew 24, 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
All these, which are the all these? All these, before he landed in verse 8, he has already told us what will happen. From verse 1 to verse 8, he has told us, he has spoken to us about how the world is going to become. Then he now told us in verse 8 that this is just the beginning of sorrows. After he has told us, when you go and read from verse 1 to 8, you see the record. He has warned us of the evil coming into this world. Then he told us that after all the evil we will see, he said that will be the beginning of sorrow. So what do? You hide yourself in God. You build a covenant relationship with him. You build a relationship with him that will take you out of such sorrows. No, they say you cannot prevent the birds from flying, but you can prevent them from landing on your head. Yes, you can't prevent birds from flying in the sky, but you can prevent them from landing on your head. You can't prevent evil from happening, but you can prevent yourself from being a victim to the evils that are happening. By being serious with God and taking responsibility to build your life. Invest into your life. Quality times. Fortify yourself. Because when the wind is blowing, you cannot stop the wind from blowing, but you can stop the wind from blowing your house away. You can stop the wind from blowing your house from being taken away. When tsunami or hurricane something is coming, the houses that are strong stand. The houses that are made of wood, they are carried away. And there will be no traces that they ever existed. Friends, let me tell you this. Between now and 2030, we are going to enter into different levels of more challenges. More challenges. Different things are going to happen. The only thing that will cause you to survive is your being rooted and grounded, established in God, knowing that you have your life in your hands to survive. Let's go quickly to Malachi chapter 4, verse 1 to 2. Malachi 4, 1 to 2.
For behold, the day cometh, that shall burn us an oven, and all the proud, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Verse 2. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. Amen.
Hold on. You see, it's a day is coming prophetically, and this is the day that the earth will burn like oven. You know, everywhere is burning like oven. You know, gone are the days when something is happening in Ghana, you run to America. Something is happening in America, you run to London. Now, everywhere is not safe. It's not secure. We are living in the day that is burning hot like oven. But verse 2 is telling us that, but unto him that feareth my name. So you must fear God. You must submit to him. You must love him. You must build a relationship with him. He said that person, the Son of Righteousness, will rise upon him with healings in his wings. He's talking about security, divine preservation. That's what he's talking about. It's not saying the one that goes to church. Let me correct this. God is not talking about churchgoers. He's talking about relationship builders. You know, they say Ghana is a Christian country. No, Ghana is a church-going country. It's not a Christian country. Let me change that concept from now. Ghana is not a Christian country. Ghana is a church-going country. It's the same like Nigeria. Nigeria is not a Christian country, neither is it a Muslim country. It is a church-going country. Because if you have 5 billion people going to church, you can only have 500 people righteous and holy. I'm telling you. There's a difference between going to church and living right. It's not the same. Oh. There's a difference between preaching and living by the word of God. We have a lot of preachers, but we don't have a lot of righteous preachers. I'm telling you. I don't touch any subject I'm not living by. Any subject that is not something I'm living by, I don't touch it. Why I talk more about marriage here is because I have a very good marriage. That's why I talk more about marriage. That's why I teach people more about marriage. I'm not struggling in my marriage. I'm not suffering in my marriage. I'm happy in my marriage. So I will teach about that. Any area that I am not successful in that area, I don't talk about it. I want to be successful before I talk about it, because you must live what you preach. Otherwise you are a hypocrite. To tell you, oh, marriage is good, love your wife, and then my marriage is on rocks. No, that is not right. Because the Bible teaches that before a bishop can be a good bishop, he must put his house in order. He must be blameless, must have one wife, bringing all his children under submission. That's what it means. If your home is scattered, your wife is somewhere, your children are somewhere, then you are teaching other people about marriage, home building. My friend, you are not qualified. Even moral, you are not qualified to talk about it. If you are not organized, how would you teach people to be organized? If you made the law, people should follow the law, then you yourself, you are not law-abiding citizen. How would you be able to implement the law? The laws of the land is only going to be effective when those who made the law are partakers of the law. Truth is the mother of justice. Truth is the mother of justice. Wherever there is truth, there is justice. You cannot overlook truth and bring justice. The same way, understanding is the mother of love. It is understanding that gives birth to love. Without you understanding each other, you cannot love each other. That's the way it is. You love people based on how you understand them. We are living in terrible times. Brothers and sisters, put what is past behind you and now renew your mind to know that life is no more the way it used to be, and it can never be. So prepare yourself. He said the earth will burn like oven, but those who fear God, they are going to survive. It's not those who go to church. It's those who fear God. I've been telling people, there's a difference between God using you and God working with you. They are not the same. Pastors even don't know that. There's a difference between God using you and God working with you. They are not the same. What is the difference? God can use anybody because God used a donkey to speak. So God can use anybody, but God cannot work with everybody. In the Bible, you can count those God work with. Only few. God worked with Enoch. God worked with Elijah. God worked with Moses. God worked with Joshua. Men that God worked with them, they are different from men that God used. That's why God told us that in the last day, people will come and say, I cast demons in your name. He said, I don't know you. I never knew you. Doesn't mean he did not use them. He used them, but he was not working with them. Working with God has to do with everything you do, he must be the person to approve of it. The house you live in, the car you drive, the money you keep. God, this is how I work with God. Working with God brings interferences in your personal affairs. So a lot of pastors go say they are oracle, they are this. God is there using them, but they are not working with God. Because if you are working with God, God will choose the woman you should marry, the man you should marry. You cannot get up and go and choose whatever you want. When you are working with God, you must allow him to choose for you. So only few are being used by God. Never desire to be used by God. Desire to walk with him. We are walking with him. We are not being used by God. We are walking with him. That's our level. We are walking with God. We are walking with him. If it's using alone, that one. So when God is working with you, God have conversation with you. It's your friend. He talks to you. I don't need to struggle myself to hear from him. You struggle to hear from your best friend. You struggle to hear from the man you are working with. No, my wife doesn't struggle to hear from me. My children know, because it is their inheritance. So when I'm there and I begin to converse with him, don't do this one, don't do that one. Don't say, this person, handle him this way, handle this way. This is his problem. This is why things are not working for him. He tells me about it. He tells me about it. Be careful who you pray for. Be careful who you lay hands on. Be careful who you prophesy to. Be careful the places you go. You see? You don't just get up and do whatever you want. Say, oh, God is using you. My friend. So only few are walking with God. Because when you want to walk with God, your personal things will be taken away from you. Remove thy sandals, for where you standeth is the holy ground. You know, on a desert place like that, something can choke under your feet. You can be hurt. God said, remove your slippers. If you are not willing to walk with God, can you remove? No, you wear it. And I tell people, when you are walking with God, you don't have problems. Because your problem becomes. You want to live a problem-free life, you must walk with him. Nothing is working out there out of his concern. He permits things to happen. And it happens. This God we are serving is a simple God. If you are only willing to walk with him, he's willing to walk with you. And in these last days, you need only one thing to survive, is to walk with him. Walk with God. The last time I spoke something, I told you that you can have children with a man as your husband, but it's not divinely your husband. Jesus met the woman by the well and asked the woman, go call me your husband. He said, I don't have a husband. He said, you've been with 5 men. All of them are not your husbands. Even the one you are with is not your husband. Who then was a husband? So children does not guarantee that both of you are meant to be together. When you are walking with God, there's nothing like mistake. There's nothing like misfortune. There's nothing like coincidence. Everything works according to plan. And that is what we need these days to survive the challenges that are ahead of us. Ghana is not going to get better. America is not going to get better. Nothing is going to get better. It's going to grow worse. But the key is to prepare to face it. Face it. When you are able to prepare yourself, I can guarantee you, you can take everything easy. The Bible says, when they say there is a cast down, then you shall say there is a lifting. When others are struggling, they will see you on top. Because you are functioning by timings of God. Don't forget, renew your mind that the world we used to be in before is not the same way we are in now. Coronavirus has not gone. How many of you realize that it has not gone? It has changed color, taking a new shape. So there's nothing like it's going to go permanently. Do you believe there still is? But we are not talking about it, but it's still there. What we are experiencing is not going to go, it's going to graduate from one level to another. Situations are going to graduate. So what you do, you prepare yourself for every level, every stage. They say Malachi 3:16. So we can pray. I hope I'm blessing somebody. Our God is a good God. Malachi chapter 3 verse 16.
Malachi chapter 3, verse 16. Then they that fear the Lord speak often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that fear the Lord and that thought upon his name.
Hold on, you see, he's talking about fear. He said, the first is that then they that fear the Lord. You see, so it's giving emphasis, the fear of God, the fear of God. They that fear the Lord will speak one to another. And those who fear God are taught upon his name. So the key here is the fear of God. To fear God and to commit your life to him and to obey him is to prepare you for the challenges ahead. Go on.
Verse 17. And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts. In that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them, as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Verse 18. Then shall ye return, and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not.
He said the time is coming that the difference will be clear. The difference is those who serve God and those who doesn't serve God. It's going to be clear. The circumstances on the ground is going to split the two groups. In the days of Nebuchadnezzar, two groups of people. The first group was the group that they were sending the 3 Hebrew boys inside the fire. They died. The soldiers that were throwing them inside, they died. But those they throw inside survived. Another incident happened. Daniel was thrown inside lion's den. He survived. His enemies were thrown inside the lion's den. They didn't survive. So it split it wide open too. What is going to happen now is that those who have followed God fully, they are going to survive. If you have not followed God fully, I'm afraid for you. You are going to be crumbled. What is going to cause us to survive is how much have we prepared in walking with God. All the things they told you to do that you are not serious with it is going to be counting from now. All the things they told you, do. You say, oh, I won't do it. You know, you see the level of fear now. And it's going to graduate. But covenant children will survive it. Covenant sons and daughters will survive it. Enter into covenant with God. Be faithful with him. Be dedicated to him. You shall survive no matter how high the evil will go. You survive it. You survive it. You survive it. Let them put gun on you. It won't work. Something will happen. They will release you. Because God is a God of covenant. We call him covenant keeping God. And he shall do it in your life. He shall perform it in your life. He shall do it in your life. He will never leave you nor forsake you. He shall never forget about you. Keep your covenant with him. Keep with him. Be faithful to him. Be dedicated to him. Remove all kinds of things that is not pleasing to him. Remove it from your life. Stand right before him. The world will turn upside down. You will keep standing. You will keep moving. But if we serve God anyhow, we think the world is still the same. Oh, it doesn't matter. You know, Jesus is with us. And we are not really prepared. We'll be taken by surprise. We'll be taken by surprise. Do you know now, let me say this thing to make it more serious. Do you know now that what is good is now being called evil? And what is evil is now being called good. And it's going to graduate. What is evil now? They say good. And what is good? They say it's evil. I'm telling you. What people are saying that this is a lie, they tell you it is the truth. And the Bible tells us in Timothy that in the last days, people will be greedy. They will be lovers of themselves than the lovers of God. They will betray one another. We are living in that time. We are going to enter into terrible times. If I'm going to share my own personal experience with you, you'll know that it is good to obey. It is good to obey. We must develop heart of obedience from now. Not to any other, not any prophet who says a prophet. Genuine ones that you know they are speaking the mind of God to you. Don't go and hit your face and then come by and say, I realize that what they are telling me is true. It will be too late for you. Just follow. May God grant you the eyes to see what you are not seeing, ears to hear what you are not hearing. From this very minute, may God help you to prepare yourself. May God grant you grace to prepare yourself. May God grant you the oil to prepare yourself. Never blame any human being in your life. Take your life into your own hands. Build your life to face what is coming ahead of you. Because whether you like it or not, it is coming. It is coming. It is coming. And it is at the door. It's at the door. Every evil is at the door. Evil is not going to go down. God bless you and keep you. Rise up, want to pray.